The Khwarezm Empire, situated in the heart of Central Asia during the early 13th century, was a formidable and prosperous domain extending over present-day Iran, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and parts of Kazakhstan. It served as a key player in regional geopolitics, functioning as a crucial trade nexus along the Silk Road, and was instrumental in shaping the cultural and economic landscapes of Persia. Its geopolitical situation, however, sowed the seeds of its vulnerability. Hemmed in by the Abbasid Caliphate, the burgeoning Mongol Empire, and other regional powers, Khwarezm was perpetually navigating complex diplomatic waters to maintain its sovereignty and influence. Understanding Khwarezm's geopolitical situation is crucial when examining the Mongol invasion of Persia. Its position as a trade and cultural hub made it an attractive conquest for the Mongols, who were eager to control Silk Road routes and expand their empire. The prosperous cities of Khwarezm, such as Samarkand and Bukhara, symbolized immense potential for both wealth and strategic advantage, enticing the Mongols to direct their military focus westward. Two pivotal examples that illustrate the significance of Khwarezm's geopolitical situation include its extensive trade networks and its diplomatic interactions. The empire's flourishing trade, supported by a robust infrastructure of caravansaries and markets, allowed it to accumulate wealth, but also made it highly visible and desirable to expansionist forces like the Mongols. Secondly, the empire's diplomatic ties were fraught with complexity, as demonstrated by the ill-fated meeting between the Khwarezmian Shah Ala ad-Din Muhammad and Genghis Khan's envoys, which devolved into a disastrous conflict, catalyzing the Mongol invasion. Opinions on Khwarezm's geopolitical stance are varied. Some historians argue that its central location was both its greatest asset and liability, enabling wealth but inviting conquest. Others suggest that the empire underestimated both the Mongols' military prowess and their own diplomatic mishandlings, leading to their downfall. However, some challenges and controversies stem from this analysis. The narrative often focuses on the empire's missteps, without sufficient credit given to the broader geopolitical pressures they faced. Alternative viewpoints suggest the invasion was inevitable, as the Mongols were destined for expansive conquest regardless of Khwarezm's actions. The geopolitical situation of Khwarezm deeply influenced the logistics and strategies of the Mongol invasion. The empire's attempts to manage its powerful neighbors inadvertently set the conditions for its rapid fall when the Mongol forces unleashed their campaign. This collapse not only reshaped the geopolitical map, but also significantly impacted the cultural and economic trajectories of Persia and the surrounding regions, illustrating the profound interconnectedness of regional politics during this era. The rise of the Mongol Empire under Genghis Khan refers to the rapid expansion and consolidation of power by the Mongols during the early 13th century under the leadership of Genghis Khan. Born as Temujin, Genghis Khan unified the fragmented nomadic tribes of the Mongolian plateau and transformed them into a formidable military force, eventually establishing one of the largest empires in history. This unification under a single leader was unprecedented and laid the foundation for an unstoppable conquests across Asia and beyond. In relation to the fall of Khwarezm and the Mongol invasion of Persia, the rise of the Mongol Empire is paramount. Genghis Khan's effective strategies, such as superior horse-riding skills, flexible battle tactics, and the utilization of the compound bow, enabled the Mongols to decimate well-established kingdoms with ease. His method of incorporating conquered peoples into his army expanded his military capabilities significantly. The invasion of Khwarezm was a direct result of the Mongol Empire's ascent. The betrayal by the Khwarezmian governor, who executed a Mongol trade caravan and offended Genghis Khan, led to a brutal retaliation. This event marked the beginning of the Mongols' incursion into Persia, utterly dismantling the Khwarezmian Empire through a series of savage campaigns. One significant example of the Mongol Empire's rise influencing the invasion of Khwarezm is the strategic use of psychological warfare. Genghis Khan's reputation for unforgiving reprisal struck terror into cities, leading many to surrender preemptively rather than face Mongol wrath. Another example is the efficient communication system established by the Mongols, including the Yam, a relay system that allowed swift transmission of orders and intelligence across vast distances, aiding in their rapid conquests. Supporters highlight Genghis Khan's unifying vision and his establishment of legal codes which promoted religious freedom and meritocracy, rare for the era. These principles contributed to the diversity and administration efficiency of the Mongol Empire, facilitating its expansion. However, the Mongol conquests were also marked by extreme violence and destruction, leading to alternative views critiquing the brutality and the genocidal implications of their campaigns. Scholars often debate the long-term impacts, weighing the empire's encouragement of trade and cultural exchange against the massive loss of life and infrastructure. In essence, the rise of the Mongol Empire under Genghis Khan directly influenced the Mongol invasion of Persia by showcasing a model of military excellence and strategic prowess. This transformation from fragmented tribes to a unified force not only precipitated the fall of Khwarezm, but also reshaped the geopolitical landscape of the time. The initial interactions between the Mongols and Khwarezm were pivotal moments that set the stage for one of history's most significant military confrontations. This period marks the beginning of hostilities between two powerful entities. The rapidly expanding Mongol Empire under the leadership of Genghis Khan and the established Khwarezmian Empire, located in present-day Iran and Central Asia. Understanding these initial interactions is crucial as they illuminate the catalysts for the Mongol invasion of Persia, leading to the eventual fall of Khwarezm. The Mongols approached these interactions diplomatically, initially seeking to establish trade and diplomatic relations. Genghis Khan dispatched a caravan of Muslim merchants to the Khwarezmian city of Otrar with the intent of fostering peaceful commerce. However, the local governor, suspecting espionage, arrested the merchants and seized their goods, an act that directly violated Mongol diplomatic protocols. This misjudgment was compounded when a subsequent envoy sent by Genghis Khan to negotiate the release of the merchants was executed by the Shah's orders. These interactions are significant because they highlight a severe breach of diplomatic norms, which Genghis Khan used as justification for his aggressive expansion into Khwarezm. This decision would lead to a brutal and transformative conquest that not only altered the course of Persian history, but also demonstrated the Mongols' capacity for large-scale military campaigns. Real-world examples of these interactions include the Siege of Otrar, where the Mongols exacted revenge, illustrating their approach to resolving diplomatic slights with overwhelming force. Another example is the razing of the city of Samarkand, a cultural and commercial hub, exemplifying the destructive consequences of underestimating the Mongol response. Opinions on these interactions often reflect on the Khwarezmian leadership's hubris and lack of understanding of the Mongol threat. Some historians argue that these missteps were avoidable and that diplomacy might have prevented the ensuing devastation. However, these initial interactions are not without controversy. Some alternative views suggest that the Mongols might have found another pretext to invade, given their expansionist ambitions. There is also debate over whether Khwarezm's actions were entirely without reasonable suspicion given their regional context. These interactions are intrinsically linked to the broader narrative of the Mongol conquest, influencing later campaigns across Eurasia. They set a precedent for the Mongols' diplomatic and military strategies, foreshadowing their future engagements with other empires and shaping the geopolitical landscape of the time. Mongol military strategy and tactics played a pivotal role in the invasion and subsequent fall of the Khwarezmian Empire. The Mongols, under the leadership of Genghis Khan, were renowned for their sophisticated and highly adaptable warfare techniques. Their strategy was rooted in the principles of speed, deception, psychological warfare, and flexibility on the battlefield. They often began with swift surprise attacks, using mobility to their advantage, executing elaborate feints, and spreading panic with their reputation for brutality. The significance of Mongol military strategy in the invasion of Khwarezm cannot be overstated. It was their superior tactics that allowed them to overcome the numerically superior Khwarezmian forces, who were ill-prepared for the Mongol approach. Genghis Khan's ability to unite the Mongol nomads and leverage their skills in horse riding and archery into a coherent fighting force demonstrated an evolution in military strategy that was crucial to the Mongols' success. Two notable examples of Mongol tactics during the Khwarezm invasion include their use of psychological warfare and their exceptional siege techniques. The Mongols created fear and uncertainty among the Khwarezmian cities by spreading tales of their ruthlessness, often sending emissaries ahead to demand surrender. When cities resisted, the Mongols were infamous for their brutality, which dissuaded further resistance. Additionally, Mongolian siege tactics were advanced for their time, incorporating engineers from conquered peoples to construct siege engines and utilize gunpowder, which they had learned about from Chinese sources, to devastating effect. Supporters of the effectiveness of Mongol strategy often highlight Genghis Khan's innovative leadership and understanding of psychological elements in warfare. His ability to assimilate technology and expertise from various cultures enhanced the Mongols' effectiveness. However, there are alternative perspectives that critique the Mongol strategies for their reliance on extreme violence and destruction, which left a legacy of devastation in the regions they conquered. Some argue that such tactics, while effective in the short term, engendered deep-seated resentment and rebellion in the long term. The Mongol military strategies during the invasion of Khwarezm not only underscore their own empire's expansion, but also influenced other aspects of their dominance in Persia, facilitating trade routes and cultural exchange, which were integral to the Mongol administration and legacy. Understanding these strategies provides insight into the Mongols' success and their broader impact on the regions they conquered.